You pissed, John? Yeah. Oscar guys, your boy Wick Savage back again. Oh, you see the title of the video. You know where I just came from. John Wick 4. Oh, damn. Let's get straight into the review, man. Woo! Great stuff. Immersive, great action, fighting, karate, kung fu, judo, jiu-jitsu, muay thai, krav maga, step, bruv. It had every fighting style, drunken mass. It had everything. I wasn't disappointed. This movie encompassed everything from the first John Wick to John Wick 3 and wrapped it all into one big movie. It was the longest of the movies. I think the movie was 2 hours and 49 minutes, 47 minutes maybe, roughly that. So it's the longest of the three. You start wondering when you hear the time's going to be like that. Is it just 3 hours of solely action, which I could have took 3 hours of only action. But they didn't disappoint on the action, but they spent the first period of this movie, the first few acts, just building up characters, because usually it's only John. Now we have where the first act doesn't really revolve around John at all. Like, he's in it. He's in the first couple of scenes, but then we move on. We've got the new villain, the new Marquis, who's on the hunt to kill John Wick. We've got the side characters. We've got Donnie Yen's character. So we get the build up, and they all encompass their own little worlds within John Wick's world, and how they all revolve around John Wick in some way. And it makes you start thinking, not makes you start thinking, but it gives you the sense that John has affected so many people's lives in positive and negative ways. Kind of like how you saw with the Halle Berry character in John Wick 2, where, was that John Wick 3? It was John Wick 3. Where she had a marker with John, and he had obviously done something to save her daughter, but she couldn't be around the daughter, so she was dealing with that. Hold on, I can't be around her, but I'm still happy she's alive. That was in this as well, from different characters. The villain, played by Bill Skarsgård. The only disappointing thing I have is that because how the franchise works, I almost wish that we had more time with him, because he was great as a villain. But it's just one movie, innit? It's just one movie, and you don't know what's going to happen going forward. I wish there was something in it before about him, but I kind of know how these movies work. Somebody comes after John, and then they normally replace them and all this business. But let's go through the characters. Of course, Keanu Reeves. Hats off to this man every single time. One of my favourite actors of all time. I've always loved this guy. Graceful in real life, it seems. On the movie screen, incredible. This movie, I'd say one thing, depending on how you look at this. His dialogue in this movie, if you wrote it down on a piece of paper, it would probably make a paragraph, a small paragraph. He didn't say much. He said a few things in Russian. He said a few words in Japanese. He said, yeah, and Winston, and Kane, yeah, and lots of guns. You know, and the normal John Wick talk, bruv. He didn't say anything, bruv, and he didn't even need to. You know what I mean? They amped it up a little bit, but when you think of the story properly, what else is there for John to say? What else is there for him to say? You killed the man's dog, and you ruined the memory of his missus. There's nothing for him to say than kick ass, bro, and he did that. Let's talk about the fight scenes. I never thought you'd be able to amp up and get better with the fight scenes from the previous ones. Just got better and better. And they were ongoing, and you never know when the fight scenes are going to end, and when you think they're ending, they don't end. The stunts in this were incredible. I know Keanu does so much of his own stunts. Donnie Yen was incredible with the style of fighting. They let him do regular Donnie Yen things, what he would do in his old movies, and he was dope. As a blind person, he was playing. He didn't play the stupid blind guy where you're like, this is not believable at all that he's blind. He encompassed everything you needed to do as being blind, and then he kicked ass, and he kicked ass in a way that was, it was beautiful. There was another new character in there. His name was nobody, and he just him with the dog, the guy sitting on the trailer. Didn't think he was going to add much from when I first saw him in the movie. By the time he got to the end, he actually done his bit to add to this, and we get all these side characters, and who knows going forward. I recall the director saying they might have a continental spin-off, which makes sense if they build up the characters in this, but that was cold. The storyline of this was obviously we know, the High Table sent a new marker out to kill John because Winston didn't kill John. He shot him, and he didn't die. So there's a new marker, and this guy, if he kills John, he's elevated his status in the High Table and will be elevated up and be able to sit among the High Table instead of underneath it. So that's his quest, which is Bill Skarsgård's character. Obviously, Donnie Yen's character has his own reasons why he's going through what he's going through. That guy, Nobody, he's got his own reasons why he's going through what he's going through as well. Winston obviously wants just the Continental back, however he wants it. The concierge, man. Yeah, it was very weird seeing him in the movie because we only found out about the man's passing a few days ago, and when you watch this movie and realize the bits what his character goes through in the movie and stuff like that, and you're just watching it gives you like a weird feeling. It took me out the movie for about 5 minutes, to be honest, but that's nobody's fault. It was just sad, when you see such a great movie, and then you realize that yes, he probably watched it after making it, maybe, but was he around for the premiere? I don't know. I don't know how it was premiered in the US and stuff like that. So hopefully he was around for that, and hopefully his family get to enjoy his performance in this when they get around to it. Of course, they're grieving and stuff, but I loved the movie, man. I didn't have much negatives about it. He gave me everything. The fight, when you guys see the fight scenes and how they were filmed, incredible. The cinematography in this movie, I know I'm a bit of a movie buff and I'm a camera buff, so it might not matter to some of you guys, but the way everything was structured, the symmetry of the scenery, and the way that when they were shifting between Paris and Japan and New York, and anyone who knows about framing in camera work, they frame stuff perfect and they can make stuff look bigger than it normally is, larger than life. They can make stuff look small. They can make John look centered. Everything, every city, every landmark felt like it was centered around this John Wick character. They made him feel like the most important thing in this world, even when they wasn't actually talking about him. And yeah, the movie comes full circle. I loved it. There is a post-credit scene which most people won't know about at all. I didn't know about it going into it. I just didn't want to move because I was a bit like, what a movie. So there's a post-credit scene, so make sure you go and watch that as well. You have to wait quite a while, about five minutes. But yeah, it was dope. It gave me everything, man. I'm not disappointed once. If there was any negatives, just that John doesn't speak very much. But when you're kicking ass how he does, and as I said, Keanu Reeves and Donnie Yen, 58 and 59 years old, both of them I know do their own stunts. Of course, I have stuntmen, but they do most of their own stunts. And I know that John himself, Keanu, he does a lot of the jumping stunts and the running stunts and the bike stunts. And yeah, like the one word to encompass John Wick in this movie is spinal. And you guys already know what I mean by that. I've been your boy, Good Savage. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you think of John Wick. I tried not to spoil it for anybody. I don't think I dropped any spoilers in here at all. One thing I will say, which is not a spoiler, but they gave John Wick nunchucks. Woo! Yo, hit the like button. Yeah.